Okay, we head now to Baltimore, Maryland to do our ninth review of a dog, or of a dog, yeah, of a beer from Flying Dog Brewery in Baltimore. And this is a style that we haven't really done many reviews for, which is kind of a surprise to me. And very interesting beer. This is their Apple Pie Blonde Ale. It's a fall seasonal, but for optimal freshness, enjoyed by April 23rd, 2021. It's currently December 13th. And that falls well before the expiration date on this. Part of their, it looks like Brewhouse Rarities. I see the label is in the vein of a tape. I guess rarities could be, you know, bootleg tapes and stuff like that. Maybe they're harkening back to the days of the, I guess the 90s, 80s and 90s, I should say. So this is Apple Pie Blonde Ale, which is an American blonde ale. We've done Summer Love, I know, from Victory, and I'm not sure what else we've done in this style. I'm sure probably a few other ones, but couldn't really find too many, just did a cursory glance of them. So we're looking for a very easy drinking beer, very simple, but they can add, I should say, notes of honey. It looks like spices and fruit. In this case, it looks like they definitely added some fruit and spices. We're looking at somewhere between 4.1% and 5.1% ABV. This one blows that out of the water. It's all the way up to 7.2%, so it's out of that range. IBUs 15 to 25. The IBUs in this beer actually are less than that, 12. So one of them way out of range, the other one a little bit out of the IBU range of the normal American blonde ale. So this is a fall seasonal. I don't know if this is a one-off, if they're going to do this again next year. They use oat, Munich, and Munich malts, I should say. And as far as the extra ingredients, we're looking apple, cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, vanilla, and lactose. So maybe a little bit more of a Thanksgiving kind of taste beer. Maybe even can be enjoyed around Christmas. And there is a little blurb here saying that nothing is more American than apple pie, right? Well, hold my beer, literally. We might not have invented beer or pie, but we sure as hell perfected both. 100 times more fun than paying to pick apples on an autumn day, this crisp, spiced brew is perfect for FALL in the USA. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we got. This is part of a mix of 6 at Wegmans. It looked interesting. I always try to just look at the beers in order of the ones that I haven't reviewed yet when I do a mix of 6. But likely all the time, there's a beer that'll catch my eye that isn't in order, and I end up picking these ones. Very, very light. I'm getting like an apple smell already from the back, but a very, very amber, golden, lagery kind of look to this beer with a frothy head, maybe about a half a finger or less. Lots of bubbles, very bubbly kind of brew. I'm drinking this in a Prima Pils glass. Translucent, can see through it, so let's get the aroma now of Apple Pie Blonde Ale. Extremely apple. This almost smells like a hard cider, like a Angry Orchard kind of beer. And I'm wondering if that is going to be what the taste is that I am in store for. So let's get that taste. Interesting. So, whereas it smells like apple, right as it hits me, I'm getting cinnamon, like extreme cinnamon, and the nutmeg too. So that's overpowering the apple taste, but I am getting the aftertaste of an apple. It's a pretty pleasant taste. It's not that bad. A little bit spice heavy for this style, but it's one of those beers that I think I would have one and then I'd move on to something else if I wanted another one. But pretty good, I would say. They did a good job succeeding in what they were setting out to do, and that I'm supposing is making a beer that tastes like an apple pie. Not an apple pie person. If you like apple pie and you like beer, you'll probably like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and give Apple Pie Blonde Ale from Flying Dog an 8 out of 10. Decent look. It looks like a blonde ale. The one thing that I would probably knock off a little bit is the aroma smelling just like a hard cider. So if you just poured somebody this beer, didn't tell them what it was, they would automatically think by the aroma and the appearance that it was a hard cider, which it is not. But the taste really, for something that is not quite my ballpark of what I like, I think they did a good job recreating it. So 8 out of 10 for Apple Pie Blonde Ale from Flying Dog.